everyone, it's Andrea, and welcome to this edition of Talks in the Car. Have you ever seen a mustard seed? A mustard seed is very, very tiny. It will sit on the top of a needle. If you drop it, you won't find it because it is that tiny. God requires us that we have a mustard seed size amount of faith in order to see him move and work in our lives. So I have been struggling in a particular area. There was something that I knew I had to do. I had to step out on faith and trust God that whatever it was that he was requiring me to do, that if I went ahead and did it, that he would show himself in my life. And I have been dragging my feet. Situations would present itself for me to go ahead and do it, and I wouldn't do it. And it was because it was just a very difficult situation for me to do. It was difficult for me to say what I needed to say. It was difficult for me to move forward and what I knew I needed to move forward in. But in saying that, I also knew that if I went ahead and did it, I knew that God was going to propel me forward. But it was the uncomfortable feeling of doing it. There was an aspect of hurt that was involved in doing what I needed to do. But at the same time, I knew that it needed to be done. And I knew that I was not going to be able to move forward if I didn't do it. So a couple of days ago, the situation presented itself again. And I said to myself, Andrea, it's time to get it going. It's time to stop dragging your feet. It's time to stop procrastinating and just get this done. So I said what needed to be said. I made the stand that I needed to make. And even though there was an element of hurt for me, there was also a release that took place in it. And I was thankful that I was able to go ahead and do that. And so as I was leaving the destination that I originally was at and was driving to work, the tears just began to flow because while it was a hard situation, I felt the blessing of God, and I felt that release because the thing that was difficult for me to do, I went ahead and got it done. And in that moment, in my spirit, with my spiritual ears, I could hear God saying, Andrea, because you took that leap, because you took that baby step, because you stepped out on that mustard seed size of faith, I am going to yield for you a great harvest. And I was so overwhelmed and I was so grateful because in that moment, I knew that God saw how difficult the situation was for me, how hard it was for me to move forward, how hard it was for me to let go of what I needed to let go. But in that, God gave me grace and God gave me favor, and God blessed me to let me know that because I had taken that baby step, because I had taken that mustard seed size of faith, because I had stepped out and done what I was supposed to do, even though it took me a long time to get it done, God still gave me favor and let me know that I can expect a great harvest from my obedience and from doing what I needed to be done. So I encourage you today, if you are in that situation where there's something that you know you need to do, there's something you know you need to let go of, there's something you know you need to walk in, and you know that you are being hindered, that you yourself are hindering yourself from where you need to be, I encourage you to take that baby step, take that mustard seed size faith and walk forward and watch God produce a great harvest in your life. It only takes one step in God, one moment of faith, so that you can see God bless you and prosper you and propel you forward. So again, I encourage you, take that tiny step, take that baby step, step out on that mustard seed size of faith and watch God produce a great harvest in your life. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we will see you next time on Talks in the Car.